Welcome back to I want to say this is part two. Reason is we got cut out. What a way
Cut
to start.
out.
So for ladies and gentlemen, if you're hearing this, hey, part two, episode 48. You guys are getting two episodes in one day. You're lucky. Abasi, bon you.
I'm also gonna type. He's gonna type out like 4 pages of just like criticisms for ways.
Hey man, I don't think we've ever posted two episodes the same day.
Our boss needs to skip Bayless for ways. Just saying
You
it.
know,
Just putting it out there.
Abasi is Skip Bayless, bro. He's the one that will say, who's the other guy, bro? That
Shannon.
always argues, not Shannon Sharp, that argues with Stephen A. Smith, the white dude, Max.
Oh, Max.
You remember Max said he's like, if I'm choosing one guy to shoot the ball, all things on the line, Andre Iguodala. Get the hell out of here, bro. Over Steph. That's you, Abasi. But
That's entertainment.
anyways, I was gonna just to go back to refresh. We were before we got cut off. Sorry, episode 47. This would have been one full episode, but we kind of talked over for the few minutes, and we decided to make it a two-parter. And I was basically talking. I legit forgot the first point that I said, but the second point I remember me saying it was have faith, hope, and stuff. And basically, without those two things, I don't think you're able to. You're not gonna go. I don't think you're able to go forward, right? Mohammed, what's the third thing you would give them to tackle 2021?
Hmm. So one of the first two, just for people who are like taking notes and stuff.
So the second one I already said was hope and faith. The first one I legit forgot. I don't know why because because it sounded like when you cut off it threw me off, and then you came back in the audio and I'm like, why is he echoing?
Oh, I know number three.
What's number three?
Fear.
Oh, see, that's a good one. That's a good one.
False events appearing real. Fear. And people,
Bars.
it's good to have fear, obviously. Fear, like for me, certain fears that I have keep me grounded, right? But at the same time, they're not like overzealous or outrageous or things that's going to keep me on edge or just like going insane and losing my mind and stuff, right? But at the
Yeah.
same time, like you don't want to have constant fears all the time. It's going to stop you from actually going past those roadblocks that's preventing you from being who you want to be. So
Yeah.
fear is one thing you have to tackle in 2021. If there's a major obstacle standing in your way and you don't know how to do it, you don't know who to go for advice, and you ever been able to figure it out, whether it's 6 months or 2 years, please watch a YouTube video, read a book, do something because the more we're able to tackle on our fears, Osama, the more confident we are, the more that we learn as far as people skills and also skills within ourselves. And we're able to use those kind of things to utilize the stuff that we want to be in life, whether it's a doctor, a lawyer, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, whatever. But certain
Yeah.
things and limits and just goals that you have will not, you'll never encounter your final goal until you actually step past your first fear. It's that simple.
Damn, that's tough. It's funny that you mentioned that because I think those are three good points I hope people take away. But I want to speak about fear a little bit more because don't you feel the reason people don't like people are fearing Corona so much, and not in the health sense, but they're fearing it in a sense where they're being so comfortable that it doesn't allow them to go after their anything. Like for example, like when I was talking to one of my close friends, like one of my family friends yesterday, he was like, I remember we were talking about. I'm like, yo, Corona should either make you or break you at this point because either you complain about what's going on or you still work. Like, yes, I get. I even told them, I'm like, look, I commend you. I said I commend you guys, people who are in school right now and are going online classes. Like, obviously, you never have to go through that,
Of
specifically from
course.
kindergarten to our college universities. You never had to go through none of that. I never had to witness a pandemic ever. Well, we did, but not to the extent of Corona,
Yep.
right? And yeah, I told him yes, it's definitely a lot harder because you have to adapt the whole new system. But in life, you have to adapt and you have to learn. You have to be adaptive 24/7. Like that's it. It's like that mind switch, right? You know what the best example is? Like it's like when a UFC fighter enters the octagon, right? His mindset before he enters the octagon, he's a normal human being. As he enters the octagon, he's a killer. That's it. His mindset switches. It's about when does your mindset switch, right? That fear, you better be fearless 24/7. People who tell you they're fearless, they're capping. everybody has a fear, but they know how to tackle their fear,
Hmm.
right? And I feel similarly as a UFC or boxing fighter enters a ring, UFC fighter enters an octagon, a doctor enters a surgery. Sometimes it could be nervous because obviously, you want to get it right. Actor enters set. Motivational speakers go and speak to the world. Everybody, but they know how to tackle their nervousness. They know how to tackle their fears because it's important to do so.
It is. It is. Like people are like, "Oh, I want to be a lion. I think I'm a lion and stuff." It's like, bro, you're just a sheep. Not even a black sheep. Unique. You're just a sheep. So how can you expect to be a lion when you can't even be a chameleon for even 2 seconds and adapt to what's going on around you? So you got to learn how to become a chameleon. So therefore, able to adapt to certain environments and predicaments that you weren't even expecting in the first place. By doing that and being able to utilize that at will and at any time that you want, by all means, you only elevate and adapt. So therefore, you want to become that lion, that beast, the king of the jungle that everyone else sees and fears. It happens. It will happen only because you put in that work. You put in that work, and the result shows. And
Yeah.
through that vision, you're able to manifest itself into physical
Yes,
reality. But
sir.
until
You
then,
know,
you're only continuing to be a sheep with the rest of the with the rest of the flock. That's is that simple.
guys, if you go to our stories, because I want to add on to the Muhammad's point, right? If you go to our stories, and I basically we have highlights now specifically for each one, and this is the one under quotes. You'll see it, and it says it's one thing to be hungry, another thing to be starving for greatness and success,
Hmm.
right? So Muhammad called you guys out. No disrespect, but this is for everybody, not no one selective.
Ourselves included.
You guys, ourselves included, that sometimes we are black sheep because you're just following a certain something, right? To be a lion, bro, that means even a lion has fear because he still has people who are trying to kill him. But what makes a lion fight his fear is that he's starving to be a top guy, right? He has to dominate his jungle.
At
If
will.
you want to dominate, exactly, if you want to dominate your area, the one thing that keeps people, because I asked the first question. If you go back to part one of this, I asked Muhammad, I'm like, how do you stay so disciplined and so consistent? He's like, I stay grounded, right? He's staying humble. He doesn't allow himself to lose himself, which is really important. And that's why I find a lot of people, they're sheep. You're crazy. You're stupid. You just lose yourself. You don't care what you do because you don't care if you eat one day. You don't care if you like take a dump another day because what do sheep do? They just follow. They don't have any job other than eat grass. Their job is to have one thing. They can't protect themselves anymore because if they one day a lion sees them, bro, that sheep is dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for him, bro. I just feel 2021. I hope you guys take it seriously going forward. Like, stop putting contracts on your freaking success, bro. The dumbest thing I've ever heard. This ain't a car. This ain't a house mortgage. This ain't school. Like, this ain't none. Like, if you're trying to get your doctor, stop putting that stuff away. Like, it's when you set your mind to something, do it. Again, I'll tell you. If you go back to previous episodes, me and Muhammad said what the biggest problem was for our race team, specifically me and him now, because we've been doing it for the past almost two along for the past, I want to say, for the past 2 years now. It was me and Muhammad carrying this thing. We were lacking consistency, not discipline. We had discipline. We were lacking consistency. The consistent part is sheep's. They can pick and choose when to go. Lion doesn't pick and choose. He has to go because lions, other animals in the wild that are trying to take over their place, and lions don't want that.
And if you want more, just go to African Lion Safari and definitely a tour guide. I'll be able to give you some information.
Yo, 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 this is off topic, but do you remember I think we were in grade five. Sounds long ago, but remember we went to African Lion Safari?
So sick.
Do you remember that? That was a sick field trip, bro. I remember because
Okay.
like back when we were younger, bro, like back when we were this is like mid 2000s, like early 2000s, they would have a lot of fun field trips for us.
That was dope.
It was freaking dope, bro. You saw the lions, that's all I cared about, the cheetahs and whoever, bro. It was sick. I'm like, Gee!
African Lion Safari was sick. I thought I'd go
Yeah,
back often, but I never went back after that.
I haven't been to the African Lion Safari in years, bro. It's probably been a decade, if not more.
It's crazy. But yeah, back to obviously the topic at hand. But no, like you're saying, perfect. I agree with everything you just said, Osama. And like Osama said, do not wait, do not take time, do not make a contract with your goals for every year as it goes by because it will expire. And as we all know, whether it was COVID, an illness, cancer, you knew someone and like every person got a call that someone in their family or maybe a family friend passed away last year. Everyone got a call like that. Every household got a call. So the point is, as time goes on, and if you don't take anything serious, you never know, my friend. This could be the year where someone gets the call that you passed away. It could be your time. You never know. So at least if you know that your time is not on your side, because it's never on our side, because we never know when the time will end, the one thing we can do is respect the time that we do have with each other, loved ones, friends, family, neighbors, and the community overall. So that's why you got to push. You got to push more than ever. You cannot get comfortable. Once again, getting comfortable only confirms where you want to
You know,
be in life, not the moment, but in life.
so I just want to add on to your thing, right? I'm not gonna go to the extent of you dying, but you're not gonna go to the extent that the day you stop working, right? I don't care if you have 100 years to live, 80 years to live, but the day you stop working and you're young is the day you choose to. You're just waiting for your deathbed. Because to me, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. And Robert Kiyosaki, when he said this, it kind of struck a chord. Even though I always thought like it, but it's different when someone else does it because, again, it puts your mind in like an awe situation. He said, "I always ask myself, what does God want me to do, or what does God want us to do?" I've always said it. God hates lazy people. Like He likes you hardworking, and that's why if you realize, bro, in any religious book, testament, God never promises you to be successful. Do you know why that is? Because it's up to you to be successful. He's given you the option to be successful. You can prove to him, and if he sees that within you, the intention, you'll get whatever you deserve. You know? Beautiful quote. The words that follow I am follow you. Remember that. It's so funny to me, Muhammad, because God will give you anything in the world if you just work for it. Yet people still choose to live a life they don't want to live. And again, bro, again, I've said in the past, if your goal is to be the best accountant that Toronto saw or California saw, you do that, but you got to work hard for it. No one has ever gotten anything for free. Name one person, bro. Name one. No one. And I know this is gonna come at me like, oh, what about kids who are celebrities? Again, there's a lot of celebrities who their kids they give them a rough time, but like you're not gonna use me as my name. Perfect example, actually, Ice Cube in the NWA. He made his own son for 2 years play a role that should have been his, but he made him work for it.
Work.
So it kind of proves to you that God will never give you anything you don't deserve. Mother Nature will never give you anything you don't deserve. Work for it, bro. Don't kill yourself early. You're young. You know what's funny is like people don't understand that you're young. You're young, bro. Like you were like we're all young. Like I don't know why we choose to blame Corona, fam. Like 2019 there was no Corona. What was your excuse? 2018 there was no Corona. What was your excuse? What was our excuse? 2017, 2016, 2015. You'll go back down. What was our excuse? For the ones in us that weren't doing anything. So I think I always said 2021 going forward, we should have long-term plans. And the one advice I want to say, because I see this a lot, we gotta stop announcing stuff that we're gonna do because who are you doing it for at the end of the day? Yourself or other people?
Mm.
You know? Who are we doing it for? That's kind of a big question. Do you know why, dude? I want to hear your opinion about this. This is why a lot of people don't get stuff done because they tell too many people, and then when times get real, the idea shuts down because they've already had people say talk them out of it. But when you keep it to yourself, like we did with Waze. By the way, for people who don't know, Waze was hidden for almost a year and a half.
Of course.
No one knew what the hell we were talking about. What were we doing? No one knew. A year and a half, we kept it to ourselves. People might have thought it was a stupid idea. Kudos to you guys, but it's a beautiful idea because we didn't allow anybody to like shape our mindset and tell us what to do, what not to do. We learn on our own, and that's what I love about it.
Hey, we move to the frequency that operates on love and just unconfounded I don't know, unconfounded conversations that's measured in principles attained by those who are in righteous deeds at all times, right? So I think overall 2021 is just the year that we just push, man. 2021 is
Except
2020
for
is just it's just the year, man. It's just the year.
except for what except for who except for the Raptors. They've been struggling still.
This guy's trying to bring down my mood. Oh, we're just gonna. I'm just like Osama. To be honest, I'm just blocking out my head. Like this season, it seems as if we're not gonna make the playoffs, and the Knicks are gonna make the playoffs. I'm gonna be so annoyed. So it's like blocking out of my head.
Guys, I know this actually is not off topic for example
Oh
because
man.
just last year we were a second seed. This year it seems like we're not gonna make it to the
Damn.
playoffs at all. This is the perfect example of Bossy bunny you again for saying Pascal Siakam is a top five player. If he was top five,
Oh man.
bro, like till this day, what he said did never live on, and we are never taking that episode off. Never.
Just sitting against him regardless at his wedding day, job interview. When he's his first kid.
Can you imagine like his wife hears that and she's a big Raptors fan and she like divorces him for it? Like, nah, I can't. No, all jokes aside, boss, we love you, bro. You're a brother. Probably like number one supporter.
Oh,
Fan.
he's of course, he's definitely the number one away supporter.
100%. He's been supporting us till day one. He gets offended when we do small things wrong because he obviously cares so much. But again, like don't worry, bro. Like for people who don't know, like we have it under control this time, and much more. There's so much more exciting news that's going to be coming soon. But again, it's through time. And again, I want to say I want to use the Raptors as an example, even though it hurts Mohammed. Actually, you know what? I don't want to hurt your feelings because it's been a tough year for both of us. I'll use the Leafs because I've been heartbroken multiple times.
That's perfect.
The last year, I remember if you go back, I think it was episode 26. 26, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about before the Leafs played Game 5 and they could have advanced to the finals, right? We spoke about being disciplined, being consistent, having faith, not having fear. But not having fear, not in the sense like you're fearless, in the sense that you have to utilize fear to your advantage, if that makes sense. Is what I mean, Muhammad, trying to get
Mm-hmm.
to. Like you're always gonna. Like, I'm not talking about fear. Oh, I'm afraid of heights. No, I'm talking about fear of you not trying. But the fear of you not trying is actually more of a fear of you are trying because it's the same equal. Which one are you choosing? I remember I posted something. I'm like, you not trying and you trying are both hard decisions. Which hard decision are you going to
Mm-hmm.
choose? If you don't try, you miss out on what you could have done. And even if you do try and didn't work out the first time, you didn't lose
Of
anything.
course.
You keep trying. You keep trying again. You keep trying again. I think the motive for this year for everybody who's listening is I'm gonna give you like my biggest advice is I said it. I'm gonna say it one more time. Stop putting stupid contracts on your goals. I never said it before because I never thought of it this way. But I guess going to 2021, I really mean it. I feel like we've always put. I think everybody's guilty for this. I think we've always put contracts on our goals because you see people saying, "Oh, this is my year now. This is my year. This is my year." How many times are we gonna say this is my year? It's getting
Mm-hmm.
annoying. What's your biggest advice takeaway, Muhammad, for these guys to go and say, ah,
My biggest advice for everyone listening to the episode, thanks again for listening. We really appreciate it. Is to be yourself. Number one, we can't take that away from you. Never ever going to tell you to change. But if there's one thing you want to change and you should change, it's for the better. So who you are at this moment, time and space, realize the person that you want to become. And once again, those roadblocks are in front of you. Do what you need to do to tackle on those fears and use results, actions, and always keep that vision in the back of your head to push forward. Because if there's one thing you have to change, it's only in the service of others. Increase on that. Because as we all
yes,
know, the world's on a halt because of COVID. So people need our help regardless. So if you can't change yourself, at least do it in the service of others. Why? Because it makes you want to work hard, knowing that you are helping someone at the end of the day. And by doing that, it only revitalizes just the energy and just that natural ambition and motivation for yourself to continue on the pathway that you want to do as far as your career choice and overall goal. So be yourself, change for the better, and tackle on your fears. Have hope and faith, like we talked about, and perseverance. And if you don't know, once again, hit us up, talk to me and Osama, and let's continue the dialogue, conversation, steps, and procedures that we must take, you and I, to push through. Osama, what do you have to give for advice for 2021 to our listeners?
My advice for 2021 for people going forward is you got to stop. You got to start listing your priorities. And this is obviously, again, this is like it's gonna go for everybody. I think listing your priorities because, by the way, because Muhammad basically said everything. I'm trying to not repeat myself about everything he said because these guys said it like so eloquently. So I'm trying to give you like the best thing that I can because obviously when you hear ways, it's all powerful. But yeah, again, it's basically knowing your priorities, utilizing your time, which is so crucial these days because again, you don't want time. This is actually a perfect example.
Mhm.
One time, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. But they asked him in an interview, they're like, "Why don't you ever go to vacations with these guys?" He's like, I don't want to ever ask myself, what if I could have done that,
Mhm.
right? And he goes down as one of the greatest basketball players of all time because he won 5 out of the 8. He went to 8 finals, right?
Yeah, I believe it's
Eight.
8.
8. He went to 8. He won 5 of them, which is legit an amazing record. And he, looking back at his career, could he have done more? Absolutely, but he did a lot more than what he expected, and that's the thing. He would work in the off season. He would do that. So you guys utilize your time. Make sure every time is productive. We're not saying don't have fun, don't chill with friends. Go do that, but it's always make sure that 85% of your time or majority of your time at least is focused on what you want to improve on, and then give less time to have fun and chill and do whatever you need to do because otherwise you'll end up like the Raptors.
Those Raptors.
I don't want to ruin Muhammad's mood because I know it's tough to
But
both of us,
at the
but
same time, hope, faith, perseverance,
it's what
and
the
tackle on
it's
fear.
what the
So through
Raptors
that, the
need.
Raptors will make the playoffs.
This is off topic. Wait, how cheesy would you be if they don't make the playoffs?
Hey, I would definitely be doing something that takes my mind off that. So I'll be saving the people something. So that's not gonna ever.
So who would you be cheering for? The
No
Knicks. Do
one,
it.
no one, no one, no one like yourself. You wouldn't support anyone but the Leafs. And obviously, like if the Raptors,
That's very
this
true.
is definitely going to be the hardest year, as we all know. It's a struggle year, right? And we believe in Masai. We trust in Masai. So pretty much we're just looking to the off season. So this year is not going to be the best of years. So just expect it to be like a down year and really expect Masai, Bobby Webster, and everyone else and the organization to really push through in the off season so we can get back to who we are as far as being we the North, the Raptors, and just a championship caliber mentality and just production that we've shown over the past couple of years. That's it, man.
That is facts. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to
Thank you.
thank you for an exciting. We're so excited. It's been this is an exciting episode for me. I'm not sure about you
Of
because
course.
it felt like we haven't recorded in a month, so to finally be back and recording and
Refreshing.
like it's refreshing. It's back to where we are. Muhammad, end it all, brother.
Once again, thank you for listening to us at Ways. Make sure to follow us at Ways 2.0 on Instagram at Ways 2.0. That's our Instagram page. New content, new themes, new format. Very dope. Make sure every new Wednesday, there's going to be an episode. Ways Wednesday. We went from Monday to Wednesday, all right? So expect an episode every Wednesday. We'll have guests, we'll have features on. We'll make it more fun, interactive, and just more collaborative as far as the overall production and caliber of Ways as you know it. And lastly, make sure to follow us at Kusa 300. That's Osama's personal page.
Okay, we're not us.
I
Make
just
sure
said
to
that. I
follow
just clarified.
Kusa.
I just
No, you
clarified at the
didn't.
end. Check the
Okay,
tape.
my
So I was
bad.
like, I said us. I did mess up, and I'm like, follow Kusa on his page. I thought that I referred to Osama. So follow Osama at Kusa 300 on Instagram. Follow myself at Muhammad.global. on Instagram. Make sure to hit us up with content, advice, anything you want to come on the show. Just let us know. You can listen to us on
That right.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Anchor, and plus YouTube. All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. 2021. Let's do this. Let's make this the year of the return to who we are as people, as a society, as a civilization overall. And let's unite and let's just prove to all the naysayers, dwellers, and just non believers that we can push through as one group forever.
Love it. With that being said,
Peace.